What's going on YouTube? The Dark Lord Destro. This is going to be one of my first videos I do. Basically, I'm going to start a breakdown series to where I will take random clips from, whatever subject, doesn't matter, various subjects, and I'm going to break it down for you step by step. I'll just have some little commentary in between each clip. I'll just, play it for a little bit, pause it, make a comment, unpause it, and there on and so forth. What's going on right now is there's been a lot of controversy with what Floyd Mayweather, I won't say a lot of controversy, but there's some people who had some issues to what Floyd Mayweather had to say on this radio station here. And I know that there's some people, especially within the black community, that did not like what he had to say about Trump. So let's go ahead and play and see what he has to say.
Of his shows and hosted the pageants and all that kind of stuff. And we haven't spoken in a while, but
I mean, I'm not here to tell nobody who they can and they can't be friends with.
Right.
And I think a lot of, within this world, like I said, racism still exists. You never heard anything about Donald Trump being racist until he ran for president and won.
That's partially the truth. You didn't really hear much that I recall. But, when you're running for president or any public office, you got to realize that people are going to dig dirt on you. They're going to find something. If I were to run on, a public office right now, and they will go back and say, well, Jermaine, we remember back in, this day you used to mess with a lot of women, or we remember back then you beat this guy up, or we remember back in the third grade you never paid this dude his lunch money back that you borrowed from him. So, we all know about, or if we don't know, about the racial discrimination case back in the 1970s, I believe, with the housing discrimination, or not housing discrimination, basically about people staying in his hotels and stuff. So, I mean, to me, it is what it is. I'm not going to be tripping about if a dude's racist or not, and I will get to that in a little bit. But yeah, you didn't hear much about Donald Trump. All you heard about was him, having his own show, him involved in wrestling and whatnot. But, of course, you're not going to hear about it until someone goes and runs for a public office. Then people are going to dig dirt on you. So that just makes sense.
Before then, everybody was like, oh, he's on WWE, he on different shows. Everybody, they like Donald Trump. As soon as he ran for president, because people don't like the truth.
I agree. People don't like the truth at all. I've been people who know me on Facebook. I speak the truth and nothing but the truth. And there's going to be people who are in opposition against the truth. No matter how much evidence, no matter how much proof you have, they still are reluctant to accept the truth. I always tell people, look, whatever I post on Facebook, wherever I say, do your own research. Don't go by what someone or myself or anyone tells you. Listen to what they have to say, take down copious notes, and say, okay, well, let's go back and see what Destro was saying. Let's go back and see if what this guy is saying is true. Is it partially true, the full truth, half truths, what have you? Put in your own research and discover the truth for yourselves.
Because he come out and be like, somebody on the rap music, they make billions and billions of dollars from rap music, right?
Mm-hmm.
He speak like a real man spoke. Real man speak. Like, man, she had a fat ass. You see her ass? I had to squeeze her ass. I had to grab that fat ass, right? This girl I was talking to,
when he was talking privately about grabbing the girl in the vagina.
So he talking locker room talk. How men locker room talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? You know who I am. Yeah, I grabbed her by the pussy, and
well, this is the part when this was going on, before the election or during the election. I was just like, what's the big deal? People made a big scene about it. I knew dudes on my Facebook page who made a big fuss about it. It's like, come on, bruh. I remember back in the day, we used to go to strip clubs, and we go to strip clubs 3 or 4 times a week. I remember the stuff we used to say, not just under our breaths or to the females. And so now you want to, try and be all on a high horse now, being all high and mighty because somebody else said. And he's like, well, Destro, that guy running for president. We weren't. And when they recorded this, he wasn't running for president. We've all said things, men, women. We've all said things about about the opposite sex. And, what we want to do. Like you said, locker room talk. We talking smack. That's all it is. And that's what you have to, that's what you have to accept, man. And people think, people are human. And this is little petty stuff that, I couldn't stand. So let's continue.
Do you think he should have been held to a different standard because he was running for the presidency?
I feel people shy away from realness.
I agree. Again, people shy away from realness. I would use myself for example. People who know me on this channel, I focus on the video game All Pro Football 2K8. Okay, we have leagues, two in particular that utilize the game, and so there are times, and I haven't done it in a while. It's been a long time since I've done it, but I reprogram the game. I help reprogram the game. I create rosters. Make a long story short, there are times to where I see other people's their job performance, how they create rosters, how they create uniforms in particular, and it's not up to standard. And I have called them out on it respectfully, and I've also done it, out of out of pettiness, I guess. But nonetheless, it's the truth. Your uniforms aren't on point, and to make a long story short, the way the game I'm talking about works is, you have different tiers. You have gold, silver, and bronze. And so I will see these guys create these rosters. They would make, in their leagues, they would make guys who are gold, who are bench warmers. Or they make guys who are gold players who they're bench warmers, never started, never left, never made a Pro Bowl. And I've always have a thing to where not only in the game, but also in real life, always keep it real 100% at all times. And so when I call these people out, they get mad and frustrated and try to demonize me. No, I'm keeping it real 100%. You are being fraud. You're being fake. You're fraudulent. You're a fool, a clown, a punk. And so they need to be called out on. And so like what Floyd Mayweather saying, people don't like realness. They don't like you speak the truth. They say, oh, we want your honest opinion and we want you to be truthful. No, that's just a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. People do not want the truth. They don't want to be real, because when you do keep it real, then they get offended, they get mad, they get upset. And this is what a lot of this craziness going on in this world now, because people don't respect real. They claim they do, but they don't. I remember back when I worked at the now defunct Sports Authority many years ago, they used to take these surveys, or have us take surveys, management and employees. And I noticed a lot of employees wouldn't be truthful with their responses. And they will flat out tell you, say, well, the reason why we weren't truthful is because you become truthful and management find a way to get rid of you. And I saw this happen with my own eyes. So me being a manager, I just followed along with the programs. Like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to BS my way through this survey, because they're going to come back on me and try to get me for insubordination, or come up with some old trumped up reasons to get rid of you. And so companies don't like it real. They don't like the truth, and neither do most people.
This man didn't do nothing. Hey, listen, if y'all didn't want the man in the White House, y'all should have voted the other way.
Well, he's basing it, that statement is based on if you believe that the voting system is legit, and which is not. Anyone with common sense realizes that the voting process garbage. Your vote doesn't really count. The presidents are not elected; they are selected. Ladies and gentlemen, you must understand this: that all presidents are selected; they are not elected. I don't care if every person in the world voted for Hillary or voted for whatever. The fact is, the global elitists, they want whoever they want in that White House, they will be put in that White House. This is not some conspiracy theories. This is the truth. Just sit back and watch. Presidents are not elected. They are selected, okay? Because if that's the case, then, because think about it. Hillary won the popular vote, but Trump won the electoral votes. And, a lot of people don't understand or don't know about the electoral votes, and, I get all that, and, there's a reason why they have it, because, you don't want, like, the big states like California, New York, and Texas who have the most people win all the votes, because if you just go by straight just voting, then Hillary would have won. But you have the electoral votes so that it kind of balances out things, so that the states with the bigger population won't triumph over the smaller states. And so you know, always do some research when it comes to electoral votes on your own time. But yeah, presidents are never elected; they are selected. Obama was not elected; he was selected. George W. Bush was not elected; he was selected. George Bush, his father, was not elected; he wasn't elected; he was selected. The list goes on and on and on. If you do your research, you realize that these guys are nothing more than puppets. They're nothing but prostitutes and hoes for the global elite.
He ain't like he went and robbed. He done his homework. He done what he had to do, and he got there. I'm not here to knock nobody. See, my thing is this: it don't matter who's in there. If Trump is in there, Clinton, Barack Obama, it doesn't matter. That's not gonna stop my drive. See, the thing is this: too many people are worried about what Trump is doing and what other presidents are doing instead of worry about what you're trying to do and what level you're trying to get to. See, my thing, I don't give a fuck what nobody else doing. I got to worry about what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to get to.
Agreed. And I understand a lot of people are upset over the presidency. You know, you figure this so-called white supremacist up in the White House. He's surrounding himself with guys, you know, so-called racists. This is what I tell people. You know, let's say, you know, Donald Trump's a white supremacist. So what? He's not the first one to be in there. He won't be the last. I mean, this country's built on racism, man. I mean, people will deny this, but, you know, I mean, shit, who built the White House to begin with? Okay? Start with that. You know, I mean, you just got to do your research. This country's built on racism. But here's the thing I tell people, is that you got to focus on yourself. You have to improve yourself, improve your finances for yourself and for your family to try to gain some generational wealth, okay? Focus on yourself. You know, don't be concerned. I won't say don't be concerned to 100%, but just focus on yourself and create something for you and your family and your loved ones, okay? You know, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter who the president is, but in a way it is true. It doesn't matter who the president is going to be. Your living situation, your conditions are not going to improve unless you do something, okay? You know, there's a meme that goes around once in a while on Facebook and have a picture of the hood and all these rundown row houses. And it will say, you know, the hood before, you know, the hood during George W. Bush, during Clinton, during Obama, and now under Trump, the hood's always the same. So right there, look at that meme. That meme's telling you. I'm not saying that memes are always truthful, which they're not. But what that meme is trying to tell you is that, look, the hood is the same regardless of who's in that White House, a Republican, a Democrat, whoever. Like I said, people get caught up in that. That's the other thing. People get caught up in that Republican and Democrat stuff. To me, they're two sides of the same coin. Like Jesse Ventura said, you know, politics is like pro wrestling. I'm quoting him not verbatim, but basically what he's saying is that politics is like pro wrestling. You know, they act like bad guys. You know, Republicans and Democrats act like bad guys. They don't like each other, you know, in the front and on the floor of Congress in front of everybody. But behind the scenes, they're all best friends. To me, they're all Luciferians. They all worship pagan gods. They're all a bunch of child molesters and child sacrificers. And a bunch of puppets and to the global elite. Banking our system out of London. So, you know, they you know, they're nothing to me. But yeah, focus on yourself. Establish businesses, create businesses and wealth for you and your family. Do not be concerned with some guy in the White House who's allegedly a white supremacist. You know, who gives a damn? Who cares? Focus on yourself. It's like I tell people all the time, you know, you worry about this guy racing, that guy racing, so what? If he's not messing with your pockets, he's not messing with your livelihood, if he's not interfering with your family, who gives a damn if Joe Blow down the street or around the corner from the house doesn't like black people? So what? There's people in this world. Let me digress for a moment, because it irritates when I see this, when I hear this, or I see it on Facebook or anywhere else. not everybody's supposed to get along. This whole let's all get along, get together, kumbaya, it's a bunch of foolishness. You know, you should go by this standard. You respect me, I respect you. If you don't want to mess with me, then I won't mess with you. You stay in your lane, I will stay in mine. We don't have to coexist with each other. We can just get along just for businesses, business reasons. We go to work together. You may work with a bigot, a racist, what have you. So what? You're there to do a job. He's there to do a job. You go home, you go your way. He goes home and goes his own way. If business is cordial, then that's it. Does not mess with your money. Doesn't try to put his hands on you and your family. Then who cares? I'm not tripping on people. I just don't. I'm 40 years old. I just don't have time anymore to focus or worry about somebody hating you. It's like I remember. I'm starting. I apologize. I remember back when I was in Pennsylvania. I worked at a college. I had a gay student. And he was talking about, well, people don't like me. They don't accept who I am. I sat him down. I said, look, brother. Not everybody is going to accept your lifestyle, your preference, whatever you call it. And you need to get that out of your head right now. You should know this already, being a black male, plus you're gay on top of it. You got two whammies, two strikes now. Okay? So you need to realize that not everybody is going to like you or love you. You need to get that out of your head. This whole reason, especially with the gay community, it seemed like they had this mentality of you must accept me or die, or you have no other choice. No, not everybody's supposed to accept you. Just like not everybody's supposed to like me because I'm black. I don't care. If you don't like me because I'm black, that's fine. Just don't put your hands on me. Don't mess with my money. Don't mess with my livelihood. Then it's all good. You stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. And that's what I told that gay student. Don't focus on what people don't like in you. You focus on what you need to do to survive and become a success story in this world. And that's all you need to worry about. Let's continue.
I'm not a lot of times. Oh man, it's going to affect us. Well, man, if you ain't making $400 or $500, $600 million, man, it's not going to affect you no fucking way. So it's only going to affect somebody like me. I'm the motherfucker that should be tripping.
Oh yeah, he's partially right. The president, like I said, he's a figurehead. He doesn't have any decisions. He's not the most powerful person in the free world, like people like to claim. He's not, because there are CIA officials who have a higher security clearance than the president. So explain that to me. How could he be the most powerful president? The most powerful person in the world when you have CIA officials who have a higher security clearance than him? So people need to get that saying out of their minds immediately, because it's a bunch of rubbish. But, for the most part, the global elite pretty much, let me back up here. The presidents are like secretaries, okay? And their secretaries, presidents, prime ministers, what have you, are secretaries, supervisors for the global elite, all right? The global elite wants something to go down, then they'll filter it down to the president and so on and so forth, okay? For the most part, what he's saying is true. But there are some policies that could affect, Americans when it comes to healthcare, things of that matter. But he is right. If you're making that money, if you're not making that money, the same money that he is, then you're not gonna really feel it as much as he is.
The tax end.
I'm just saying, period. I'm the motherfucker that should be tripping, paying $34, $25, $26 million. I should be tripping. But guess what I'm saying? It's all right. It is what it is. One thing that we all know we got to do. One thing we know that's going to happen for sure. We're going to pay taxes. We're going to die.
You got that right. Ridiculous.
But while we here, live life to the fullest. Stop worrying about what everybody else doing. How I became successful and how I got to where I got to, I don't worry about what nobody else say.
And that's exactly what I just got done saying. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what the next man doing. Focus on yourself. That's a problem in this world. We're worried about what the next man is doing and what he has and what he doesn't have and this and that. You need to focus on yourself. You need to become your own success story. You only have one life. And you need to, within that lifespan, you need to do what's necessary to become a success story. A lot of people hate on Floyd. I don't really know much about like, the struggles that Floyd had to go through, because I'm not a diehard boxing fan. I'm more of a casual fan. I was a big fan back in the 80s and 90s when Mike Tyson was on the scene, or even a little bit before that with Sugar Ray Leonard and all those guys, but kind of fade off once Tyson went away. But regardless of that, for what I do know, Mayweather, he didn't start out, with a silver spoon in his mouth. He had to grind. He worked hard. He perfected his craft. You don't become 49. Well, now I'm 50-0. You don't become 50-0 by an accident. People want to say, "Oh, well, he dodged and ducked and ran over the ring." No, that's a bunch of crap and lies. Even I, who's a casual boxing fan, understands that his style of boxing is, it's not favorable for most people, but for a boxing purist, that's called defensive boxing, and it's part of the sport. What would you want to do? Have a slugfest and he becomes 40, 50 years old and has speech impediments because he can barely speak? And so, nah. Let's continue.
When a guy or a girl come into my life, all they do is make me work that much harder. So no matter what male or what female was in my life before, when they got out of my life, all they did was save me some money and made me work harder.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I don't know why everybody keep bitching about and keep picketing and holding, you know what I'm saying? They walking hard. Protesting. We don't want this happening. My man, all that time you spending protesting, you could be at home writing down ideas, coming up with a business.
Agreed. A lot of people are not going to like what I'm about to say, but protesting is a waste of time. If someone worked back in the day, it does not work now. We can disagree. You can disagree all you want to. It does not work. Okay? There's a YouTuber named John Allen Martinson. I don't know if he still has a video up on YouTube. You should Google it or look it up. It's called Bane, B-A-N-E, of a protest, or of the protest sign. Bane of the protest sign. He talks about how protesting is wasted time. It's the same as masturbation. And because in this world, you can protest all you want to, but the evildoers, the degenerates, the psychopaths in this world do not care about you. You can hold a protest sign all damn day, if you want. They do not care. It goes back to the Colin Kaepernick situation. I support what he does. I support that he has the First Amendment right to get on a knee. But to me, the gesture of getting down on a knee is like begging. You're begging the oppressor, please accept me. Please stop having the police brutalize me. No, this is what you need to do. And this message for anyone, but especially for the so-called black community. What we need to do is first of all, have to get our culture right. You have to get our minds right. Then you have to get the money right. And then you establish your own police force. You establish your own banks, your own job force. And then, like I said in the video about a month ago about Colin Kaepernick, you do what the Jews do. You do what the Asians, the East Indians, whoever, or the Arabs, you do what they need to do. And you build that community together so that the police or whoever can't mess with you. I'm not saying that this will totally eliminate the situation, but when you have a close-knit force, when you have the economic power to have some say and to wield your power, then no one can hardly come against you. No weapon can prosper against you. Like I said before, this is why you don't hear about the police beating down some Jewish kid or some Russian kid or some Chinese kid. You got, man, there's a Chinese dude down in D.C., man. If this dude talk to you, man, you close your eyes, you think you're talking to a brother. Speaking slang, like, I don't know what, you know what I mean, son, you know what I mean? You open your eyes, you realize it's an Asian dude, man. We know he triad. We know triads all over the place. We know Russian miles over the place. You don't hear about police knocking them down, knocking on their heads. Why? Because when you have power and you have influence, no one can come against you. Because it's like I've always said on Facebook, it's the path of the path of the least resistance. People like to get from point A to point B as fast, as quickly, as easy as possible. If that means they're going to pick on this guy over this guy, then fine. They pick on the black folk because why? We're the easy target. We don't have a culture. We don't have the economic base to wield against them. Therefore, they pick on black folks and Hispanic people. They won't pick on this group of people or that group of people. It's the same thing when I'll take shot at atheists or feminists. They'll always go hard against the black man or go hard against Christians, but you notice they don't ever speak against the Arabs or especially radical Islam because, like I said, the feminists or the atheists don't want that fight. It's called the path of the least resistance. They don't want to step up against no crazy radical Islamic dude. They don't want their place blown up. That dude go up in there and say, okay, you want to talk shit? Kaboom! You know? So, you don't want that at all. So like I said, man, focus on yourself, create your business, and don't stress about some cat in the White House, some little orange Cheeto Illuminati asset there's no use arguing with a Trump supporter or a Hillary supporter because they're all controlled. And you must understand this.
Mm-hmm. So do you think with the policies that is happening in the country now that, with the new legislation that they're putting forward to get rid of the dreamers, the people that have come to this country before they didn't even know any other country. They just came here with their parents. Now he wants to send them all away. There are a lot of people that are really not happy with his policies. Are you saying that they should just forget about him or not?
What I'm saying is this. A lot of...
Man, that girl back there, fine as a mug. I heard he met her in England. That's what Chronicles of Judah said. He met her in England, and she was messing with some other dude, and Floyd Mayweather came in and, run her like property, like he said. Floyd Mayweather's obviously has more money than that dude, so she rolling with. Let's continue.
Sometimes you meet people from other countries, meaning this. You meet people that comes from other countries and be like, oh, I love my country. I love this. I said, if you love your country so much, why you here?
I say the same thing. I live in the D.C. metropolitan area. The DMV is what we call it, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and they wave their flags around. I don't really trip on it, but then they brag about the other country, and I'm like, well, if the country is so great, then why aren't you there? I mean, I know why you're here. You make that bread up here, and you send it back to your people, which I have no issues with. But I be wondering sometimes as well. You got the El Salvadorian flag and this and that, and you're all waving and stuff, which I'm cool with it. I respect anyone to be proud of their nationality, where they come from. But, sometimes when you listen to them and they brag about it, it's kind of like, all right, well, why are you here?
You taking up space for other people. We got some other Americans that'll love your job.
I don't know about that, because I ain't going to be out in the field picking up plants and stuff. I ain't going to lie. I keep it 100, man. Hispanic people, they work hard, man. Let's keep it 100. They work hard. I never get, there was a skit by a Cedric Entertainer. He was kind of like clowning. He was like, man, Hispanic people couldn't have been slaves, man. They work too hard. And, man, and I'm telling you, they're hard-working people. They have a very strong work ethic, and I guess I'm assuming the way it is, you know what, they look at it here in America, I'll be a janitor. I'll grind, because I know eventually I'm going to own this building one day. And I go around D.C. area, mainly my hometown, and I look, and, I see they have shops. There's a place called Sardi's Chicken, which makes some bomb chicken, man. That chicken's off the chain, man. My boy Jules, man, he loves that place. Well, anyhow, I used to go to like maybe once a week. Now I go to maybe once in a blue moon because I don't live in my hometown anymore. But man, they have shops all over the place, and like I said, it's no hate from me. I admire it. I have no issues with it at all. So when maybe they're talking about, oh, you taking a job from American, shoot, man, they do jobs that a lot of people don't want to do.
But remember, this country will give somebody else from a whole nother country that they don't know shit about a loan before they even give the American citizens a loan.
That is true. That's why people understand, especially, a lot of racist white people will say, well, you got all these foreigners coming over here, and they're able to build wealth and have these stores and stuff, and how come you, black man, how come you can't do this? Well, they may have said, I forgot what you call it. There's a name for it. And basically, they give out these loans for the foreigners who come to the United States. They get their citizenship, and it basically helps them get on their feet. And they're smart with that money, and they build restaurants, stores, gas stations, and they usually build them in black communities. The Chinese, the Asians in particular, I know Asians, they create, beauty parlors with the fake hair businesses. They establish those in black communities because they know that our women are gonna go there and purchase them. And so he's right about that. And what's crazy is that the fake hair industry makes like $9 to $10 billion a year. And just think if they were black owned. Now, I'm not knocking anyone for establishing businesses. And let me get something straight here when I speak this, because I don't want people to think, oh, Destro, you're a separatist, you're a borderline racist. No, I'm not a racist at all. I'm not in any position to oppress anyone. But I do understand group economics, and I look at what other ethnicities, other races are doing. And so if you're not going to accuse them of being, separatist, then you can't accuse me or black people who practice the same group economics concept. You can't accuse them of the same thing. You're basically contradicting yourselves. So that's the way I look at it. They get loans, especially, let's say you have an Arab guy come over here. He's already, he's got money, for the most part, he's got money already saved up. His family's already backing him, so he's already coming over to the United States already caked out. He's just getting a little bit more, a little bit extra from the government, from U.S. government, and that's why he's able to build all these gas stations, own these 7-Elevens and convenience stores, etc. in the black community.
So, I don't know how many illegal people that we have in this country. Meaning, my thing is this: I'm not saying I'm with it. I'm not saying I'm against it. I love everybody. I love I love people from all around the world. My thing is this: Floyd Mayweather is not worried about nobody else's business. I don't worry about nobody else's business. A lot of time we spend too much time worrying and talking about everybody's business instead of worrying about our own.
Like I said a few minutes ago, we're concerned about what other people are doing instead of what you're supposed to be doing. And you got to tell people close to you, they see that, people are being successful and they're not, and they complain and throw hissy fits on a continual basis, but do nothing to solve the problem. Okay. Don't complain. It's one thing being upset and complaining once, but to complain over and over again on a regular basis doesn't do you any good. How's that saying go? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's basically what a lot of people do. We look at other people and we're always in their business, but we're not focusing on our business. And as a man, if you're a man for a ruling class mentality, you're not concerned what other people are doing unless it affects you personally. But you worry about making your own bread, your own cheddar. That's what it needs to be.
I got to where I got to. That's the reason why it's easy. I make millions and millions of dollars on a daily basis because I focus on Floyd.
So are you saying that things that don't affect you personally, you shouldn't be worried about?
That's how I feel.
Okay.
Well, you have a blessed life that's not common.
Before I'm gonna cut this heifer off, okay. Yes, he has a blessed life and it's uncommon. Not everybody can make $300 million in a fight. However, he didn't come out that way. And he's about to explain to you. He lived in a room with 7 deep, lived in that room about similar to that same size that you see there, and it was 7 deep in that house. So it wasn't like he came up with a silver spoon in his mouth. So don't get it twisted, woman.
I mean, like,
that's why I worked to get to where I got to.
No, I know. I'm not taking that away from you.
We can talk about everybody in this room. See the size of this room?
Damn, that girl's fine.
I come from a 7 deep in a 1 bedroom, the same size as this. Right here. So I'm what you call an American dream, a whole fucking world dream. I work my way from the bottom to the top. And nobody gave me shit.
And that's of the show.
And that's basically it. Like you said, he worked his butt off, and You have to admire that. That's what it's supposed to be. You know, me personally, I can't speak for everybody else. I don't want a handout. I don't want something that's given to me, because to me, when something's given to you, you don't appreciate it. And so, but it feels a lot better when, you know, when you work hard for something and you finally achieve that goal, and you're like, man, that felt good. I accomplished something. I got it. I got it. And it's a lot more rewarding for me. Now, most people don't care. It's like, you know what? Just give it to me. Oh, give me the food stamps, give me the free house, and give me everything. I'm down for whatever. You know, that only lasts for so while, but, you know, everyone's wired differently. You know? But this is Dark Lord Destro. I'm out. Your questions, concerns, comments, just post them. Peace.